Part 1 of a dungeon crawl. Finding the idiots.
All three of them.
Who's the third idiot?
The one who just jumped off the edge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Entered the crypt, temple, burial ground, whatever. Found some more of those statues with the spirits or ghosts or whatever inside them. And it was a blood sacrifice puzzle that we didn't get to until the blood was forcibly taken from us via the method of stabbing and rocks. So we got through that after demolishing half the statues.
Mm-hmm.
Fire does not understand how traps work or pressure plates.
What?
He went and stood on the wall pressure plate.
I knew
I
it
didn't
was
know.
there. I didn't know it closed the door.
Yeah, because the door stopped opening, so that could
Yeah.
have been the continue opening the door pressure plate for all we knew.
Yeah, fair. Zoe suplexed and body dropped a lever.
Mm-hmm.
Then we continued on, and then we found I think the next one was what, for lack of a better term, the barbell puzzle, which we got through pretty easy, it seems. And then we came to a ledge that sloped down into a pool of water, and there was some moss or something down below near a ledge, like maybe a moss-covered ledge or something. And fire investigated, came back, we rested, and Rizwan went and yeeted herself off the edge.
We apparently don't know. There doesn't seem to be any way out, other way out of this hole besides the one we came.
Only way out is down, apparently. Or
To be
forward.
very specific, we hammered the pitons and ropes into the rocks, and people were preparing to climb down. Then Rizwan jumped off.
Yeah, and Rizwan is being incredibly reckless because Rizwan.
So we start with Rizwan jumping off the ledge, plummeting down into a pit of water. You said last time that you were just cannonballing?
That is correct.
Okay, then please roll me 3d6. This ginormous splash echoes through this cave as Rizwan takes 7 damage as her backside impacts the water. Rizwan, you go down. You're not quite sure how far, but a fair distance. You can kind of feel as you impact the water, this like sort of soft layer that immediately gives way as you plunge beneath the surface. I assume you swim back up?
Just to check, the damage was water bludgeoning me?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Are
you rage cannonballing?
No. I would, however, like to attempt to stay underwater for a little bit first, at least one round, and look around.
Okay.
I'm looking, and if you say this takes 2 rounds, that's fine. I first want to look around below me and the walls and stuff and see if I see a way out of here.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
It is very hard to see down here. Even with your dark vision, it is very dark in here, and underwater. You can't see the bottom from where you are. And you can see like one edge of the of the rock wall, like what would have been, I don't know, what edge did you jump off of?
Just the front,
The
one?
The front?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
Then you can kind of see where the rock starts to slope upwards a little bit. But you don't, from where you are, you don't immediately see a way out. You can swim around and look again. Nibbles.
Oh, that's muted. Sorry.
It's okay.
I will take some time to swim around, but before I do that, I would like to get near the surface and just kind of see if I can determine anything about this layer. Maybe poke it a little bit to see if it reacts or anything like that.
Sure. Make an investigation check. You swam up to like just below the surface and kind of like touch this layer and poke it a bit. It's fuzzy in the way that mold is fuzzy. And it's kind of slimy.
Does it seem harmful?
I mean, you probably wouldn't want to eat it.
And is it...
It doesn't seem sentient or like immediately toxic.
Mhm.
It just seems like sort of a natural organism, colony of organisms that have made this very still standing water their home.
And the area through which I cannonballed, was it immediately recovered? Is there like a
No,
blank area now?
you can still see a blank area.
Okay.
But it is starting to, as the waves that you made are sort of going back and forth, it is starting to fill in again.
Oh, wow.
Just from like physics.
Okay. I will poke my head up through the blank area, and I will say, looks good. Come on down.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just wet. I'm going to look for an exit. And then I will dive back underwater and do some exploring.
Okay.
I will. I'll go last, since I'm the heaviest person and can brace the rope.
Are you?
How much does fire away?
I don't have it down. I believe you.
Armor weighs a lot.
Yeah, say in armor, Camille probably weighs almost 400 pounds.
But for carrying, doesn't fire count as double?
Yes, but carrying is not athletics and strength checks.
Well, I go down.
Okay. Are you eating yourself off the edge?
No.
All right. Make an... Either you or Camille can make an athletics check.
No.
At advantage.
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah. You're just lowering him down.
Ah.
Yay, advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you rolled a 1 and a 20.
Right, Fire, you are carefully and skillfully lowered down to the water's edge.
Mossy. Splodge.
Moldy. It's not really moss.
Moldy, mossy, same thing.
While you're doing that, Rizwin, make me another perception check.
That button is here somewhere.
Okay, you take a big gulp of air, diving back down below the surface, trying to use touch to sort of aid you in looking for a way out. Pretty quickly, you find it. It's the this pool that you're in. There's a tunnel beneath the surface of the water that loops back the way the path went.
Okay, so it's going like underneath, basically.
Yes.
What is going underneath? Another path?
Water tunnel.
Yeah, there's like a water tunnel
Okay.
completely submerged that sort of loops back underneath the way you would have come. You still haven't got to the bottom.
Okay. Alright, I will hold my breath and travel down it
Okay.
a ways.
It's not a super long ways. You swim for like maybe 100 to 150 feet. And then you can start to see a little bit of light as the tunnel gets just slowly shallower and shallower and is like just naturally pushing you up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep going if I feel like I can get there.
Sure. So Fire, you have reached the water.
Guys, I don't see Rizwin. She's been eaten. No, I don't say that. But she's not here though. Okay.
I did say I was going to look for exits.
Yes.
Fire just idle in the water, waiting for the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'll just start lowering other people. Who's next?
Melis looks up at Amalus mournfully. He knows what's coming.
No.
Yeah, I was hesitating to mention about that.
I just look at him and go, I know.
Why have we never bought a kitty harness?
We should.
I'm not sure that would really make it much easier. It just in terms of how Melis likes it.
Yeah, but I still feel like it would be easier just to put the harness on them instead of being like, now we have to tie all this stuff up and then lower you down, and then somebody's got to untie you at the other end.
Just eat it.
I am not eating the displacer beast over the edge of the pit. Fire.
That's a good way to make an enemy for life.
No.
Also, most probably you will not be able to eat it and only get scratched.
A great way
So-
to cat piss in my armor for the next year.
Yes, Ty?
So he decides just to swan dive off the edge, and
Okay.
Is Rizwin being a bad influence?
I think Zoe doesn't want to get. Well, Rizwin survived, and Zoe doesn't want to get lowered down. However, she's not cannonballing. She's like
Okay.
proper diving.
Make me an acrobatics check then.
Watch it turn out to be a the thing where you land on your belly.
Belly flop.
Mhm.
There's the word.
Oh, that's pretty Zoe does a near perfect swan dive. Roll 3d6 and take half.
Swan dive. So his acrobatics are pretty good.
Rough.
Luckily, it rounds down.
It hurt a little bit, but you definitely made a less loud splash than Risman did.
I want to investigate the moss slash thingy.
Sure. As you see Zoe just come careening down off the edge. Dive straight past you.
I thought
Make a nature check.
I should be good at those, but
No. I mean, I don't know that you've necessarily... I would say that Fire probably isn't sure if this is some, like, new kind of mold that he hasn't seen before, or it has just grown to such proportions that he has never seen before.
he has no idea.
Or has just never seen algae before.
I think he's probably seen algae before.
Remember the pit where the Hydra was?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next or who's taking a swan dive?
Pert will go next.
Alright. Pert starts to get lowered down as Zoe surfaces. And back to Rizwin. Rizwin, you start to see a little bit of light up ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go all the way up to the surface?
Yes, when I get near the surface, I will, as quietly as possible, just poke my eyes and nose out to see and regain some breath.
Make a stealth check. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so you surface, maybe not quite as quietly as you had hoped. And you see, looking around this cavern, the light that you had seen before, it's not one source of light. There's maybe like 100 little glowing lights floating around this spacious cavern. The lights are like reflecting off the water that's kind of ripples around your top half of your head that's sticking out. This pool that you're in, you can see it continues to get shallower and shallower. Deeper into this cave. It covers maybe like a third of the ground. There's a few stalagmites poking out here or there. These lights that are floating around the cavern, just almost aimlessly, a couple start to float towards you, and they look an awful lot like those wisps that have attacked you a couple of times.
And you said there was like 100 of them?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to, with haste, return the way whence I came.
Okay. Very quickly, you dipped it back below the water. Make an athletics check. Okay. As you dip back below the water and start swimming with haste back towards the other side. You're pretty sure, at least you hope that you got far enough away from the water by the time those things got there that they would not have seen any trace of you, except for maybe a few ripples.
Okay, I do not slow down.
Okay. You power back to the surface, where Fire, Zoe, and now Pert are all treading water.
Hello.
Hello.
Pert collects a sample of the moss. Algae.
Alright, you now have a mold sample.
So I did find a tunnel out of this area.
Good.
It leads to a room full of wisps.
Ah,
Like 100 of them. I'm going to see if there's another tunnel, and then I go back underwater.
Alright.
Lowering people.
Okay. Who's next?
Amalus and then Melis, because I think Melis would be calmer with Amalus in the water first.
Okay.
Sure.
So do you want it at advantage again, or?
Yep. Yeah, not a problem. Melis just watches over the edge as Ammo's let down.
And I just look at Melis and go, I know. And hand him some jerky. And just let him long-sufferingly just look at me as I tie him up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's had to do this a few times. He's not happy about it, but he lets you do it.
Okay.
he doesn't know there's water below.
No, he doesn't. And I lower him.
Yeah. So Melis is slowly lowered. And
Maybe
then
they're
Melis hits the water and starts, splashing around.
Maybe they're like jaguars and they like water.
Like desperately or just paddling around?
Like he was very surprised to find water. Melis starts, trying to climb on Amelis's head.
Alma tries to comfort Melis.
I'll help Amon trying to calm down Melis.
Yeah,
Melis is trying to use the two of you as a life raft.
Lower myself down.
Alright. You could also make an athletics check. 19? Yeah, you're fine. And as Camille is lowering himself down, Rizwin, go make another perception check. This time at advantage. Because you've already been looking down here a bit. Okay. Did somebody say something?
I just said, yay.
Oh, okay. So you dive down sort of as deep as you can, and you do eventually hit the bottom. It is not just pure rock. There's a layer of silt and guck at the bottom, and you do not find a tunnel. The bottom seems to be pretty solid. Although you do find, a couple of, sticks or stones or something down there.
Do they look like things that were perhaps tossed in to see how deep the thing was?
It's hard to tell. They're so, it's hard to tell what they are because they're just covered in goop.
I'll
They're hard, but...
grab a handful and
Okay.
bring them with me, I guess.
Sure. You did not find any other way out of this cavern than that tunnel.
Okay. And I feel pretty confident that I've explored pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
I will just return to the surface and wait then.
All right. You return to the surface just as Camille is getting into the water. Melis is continuing to make a ruckus, splashing about.
Ow, Melas, no, my face. Ah. Ah.
I will attempt to let him climb on my head if he is still looking for a perch and try to stay above water.
Make a strength check. It's pretty tough. Melis is a big boy. Every once in a while, your mouth gets dunked below the water.
Yeah, that's fine. I just hold my breath until I can power
Maybe
back up.
Examine those rocks or twigs or whatever you brought up.
Oh, yeah. I'll hand them off to someone since I'm occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at them.
Sure.
Cool.
They're very covered in sediment and
Walk off the sediment in the water.
something. You do so. And you can see underneath a pretty thick layer of gunk, it's gold. It's a little gold statuette, very similar to the one that you saw that centaur had.
Huh. There's gold in our pool.
Ah.
Hey, Zoe,
Yes,
can you check for the mojo on the statue?
pretty sure Zoe still has detect magic up, so
Okay. Zoe does not sense any magic on that statue.
So it's just gold.
a mojo.
All right, and Rosamund, you were saying something about wisps.
Yeah. The only way out of here seems to contain about 100 of them.
Ooh. Well, if they're like the ones we've dealt with before, they're fragile. That's good. Did they seem to react in any way? Were they like?
I'm pretty sure a couple of them noticed me, but I didn't hang around to find out.
I don't know that much about them. If they see, like a living thing would see, or if they sense, I don't know, life force or something. I'm just wondering if there is a way to sneak past them with.
Do the will-o-wisp swim?
It's an undead spirit. I have no idea.
I could go and only poke my head and summon a bunch of dudes who would take care of it without us needing to fight them.
Yeah, but the only way that your spirit animals would be able to come back is through the way we'd have to go. And if you chase them further down the hall or the tunnel,
no, I was thinking of fighting them, but I don't think about it. If they're really like 100, it's a bit too much.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we use a combination of just being stealthy and Amelis's ability to mask our presence, we might be able to get by them.
I wish I had the correct spells for this.
And if we have to fight, we do fight, and we'll do what we can. Those two got by, so I'm guessing they're not fighters.
Yeah, same.
I'm guessing they probably snuck by.
Same thought. That those two did not fight all of those things.
To be fair, I didn't stick around long enough to see if there were any bodies.
Yeah, I mean, but I think in this case, the most optimistic chances for survival and progression are trying to sneak by them.
Do we want to take gold now?
Possibly, I'm wondering if we could use it to distract them, throw like a statue off into a corner, and they all kind of react to it as a way to sneak by. Maybe they're guarding the gold. I don't know. Well, it seems weird that if they were guarding the gold, they would be here, but who knows? So, any other opinions, thoughts, concerns?
Getting hungry again.
Oh, I mean, the only other way out is back up. So,
Yeah, I guess we go forward until we find them, or they're corpses.
try to be quiet until we can't, and then we punch things.
That's a way of life.
And
Okay.
Rizwin makes this face like she's just said something profound.
So you're gonna try and be quiet until you can't, and then you're gonna punch things.
I mean,
Yeah.
only if the things start looking like they're going to punch us, I guess.
Okay.
We use pass without a trace and whatnot. That even works in here? I don't know if it does.
I think so.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay.
Mist, I really think that Malice should have disadvantage on a stealth check.
Probably.
That makes two of us.
So
mhm.
so he goes over and prestidigitation the water away from Melis.
In the water.
No, she's on ahead.
Melis has to go underwater.
Oh, she's not going to be happy about that.
Mhm.
Or he's not going to be happy.
Melis is like 3/4 out of the water now between laying on Rizwin and Fire and Emma.
I imagine a very Disney point of view of trying to put one paw on each one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Alice, do you want to try to explain to him that he's going to have to swim underwater?
Try my best. I'm gonna try to convey the message to Melis. An attempt to convince him to do it.
You think Melis gets it? He's not happy.
I know, buddy.
Alrighty, so should we do this whole stealthy thing?
Let's do it.
All right.
Since Rizwin knows where she's going, she will lead the way.
Okay. Am, are you casting Pass Without Trace?
Yep.
Okay. Then everybody can make me a stealth roll. Plus 10. Malice is at disadvantage.
Yeah.
And then once those rolls are made, I would like to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
Ah, yes. I'm invisible.
So am I.
Jesus Christ, David.
Rogues. That's not even a crit. Fucking 41.
David, just stop existing.
It's the same number.
Yep.
Plus 10, though.
Yeah, so
14. Okay.
most of us did well.
Yeah. All right. Back in a sec.
Yeah, same.
Meow.
That's the highest stealth roll per time. No, it's not the highest.
I had a
You-
critical a little while ago with the
No.
bonus, I think.
No. The highest you have is a 42.
So a 19 instead of an 18. Phew!
God damn it.
Hmm?
People think they're better than me in Duolingo.
Huh?
Tiefling playing a violin.
What?
So he plays a lute, not a violin.
Is everybody back? Sounds like no.
Haven't
Yeah.
heard from Cathanid or Nibbles, but I think Nibbles just said hi.
Quite technically, I said meow.
Must say, I said meow.
I said good day. I knew it.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I think that's everybody.
Roll
Yes.
call.
David? Oh yeah, David's here.
Biscuits.
Gravy?
I
Oh,
have fresh made bread.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Are
I
we
just
sure
said roll
David's
call.
here?
Yes, David is here.
Okay. So the 7 of you dip below the water surface, following Rizwan's lead, swimming down this this tunnel. It's not long enough that I'm gonna make you guys roll Constitution to hold your breath. But there's a couple of you that, your lungs are starting to burn by the time you get to the end. Rizwan, you're in the lead. How do you approach this?
I again attempt to breach the surface quietly
Mhm.
and just look around to see if there's any movement.
Okay, make a perception check. Once again, you get to the surface and you see all of these little motes of light dancing around. It's kind of tough to see what might be further down the cave. Just the way these wisps are sort of casting light on the rocks and making shadows. It's tough to see what's farther down. I should make a roll. Nothing seems to have noticed you yet. Although you notice that there's a couple that are floating near the water's edge. Very, very low to the ground.
Hmm. How close to us horizontally?
Maybe maybe 20 feet.
Hmm. I think I'll just chill and stay quiet for now.
Okay.
Till everybody surfaces, at least.
Yeah. Everybody kind of comes in after Rizwan surfacing, mostly quietly. Both Fire and Melis make a little bit of a gasp when they surface.
And just to make sure of an accurate count, when I surface, I'll use Divine Sense just to see if there are indeed a shit ton.
There are indeed a shit ton.
Oh boy.
Everybody can make me a perception check now.
Not at disadvantage.
Not with us without a trace.
I think Zoe's trying to get water out of her eyes.
Yeah. Pert and Amelis, you notice a couple of things. Number one, you're pretty sure you're just at like a slightly different angle than Rizwan. You don't see any like continuation of a tunnel at the back end of this. Pert, it's a little harder for you to see because you don't have dark vision. even with the 30. But Pert is the first to notice that there are two human figures sitting off to the side on a rock, busying themselves with something. Their back is turned to the pool.
But clearly alive.
They seem to be. You hear a delicate crash of metal on stone as somebody, or probably Theodore, throws something away, and it kind of rolls down the rocks, and then just splashes at the very, very shallow end of the pool.
Do the wisps react to that at all?
Yeah, the ones that are down near the water kind of go over and examine it, fly around it a little bit.
How close do they seem to be to the wisp? Like they're right into it, or they're like?
Yeah,
Do I
the wisps are just like floating around their heads like nothing.
Okay.
Pert, having a swimming speed, will just silently glide as close as he can in the water to where they are before getting out, but will indicate to the rest of the party where they are and where he's going, and this just kind of try to sneak closer to them while staying silent, so that way they hopefully don't freak out and make a lot of noise.
Okay. You only get about like 20, 30 feet before you're no longer swimming and you're just kind of like crawling your way along the bottom. As the water gets shallower and shallower very quickly.
Is it the bottom rocky or sludgy too?
It's not nearly as sludgy as the other side, but there's still a little bit of like a little bit of fuzzies growing on the rocks underneath the water.
Basically, what I want Pert to do is I want him to slide up beneath the two of them and then just give them the thief's cant sign for danger, death trap all around you, so that he basically slides into their point of view from below and is like, "You're fucking going to die, you idiots."
Okay. You think this would what do you want to roll to get them to notice you without having the wisps notice you?
I'm gonna say sleight of hand,
Sure.
because it's all hand motions and, being quiet as shit.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand roll.
Sure thing.
It takes a little bit, but eventually, you catch Theodore's just sort of the edge of his gaze, and you start making these hand signals, and Theodore just says, "Oh, hey!" And immediately, all of the wisps, like, not all of the wisps, but a lot of the wisps just start, like, converging on the pool.
On the pool or on them?
No, on the pool. And then, as this is starting to happen, Marlin looks over at where where Pert is, and just holds up a hand and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa," and the wisps start to stop.
Ah,
Just from the middle of the pool, there's just a what?
Yeah.
ah.
Both Pert and David have their head in their hands.
Care to explain, gentlemen?
Hello.
They both wave. Pert and Amma, who rolled very high in perception, and Pert's also a little bit closer. As Marlin's waving, there's this weird sort of like after image to his movements.
Like he moves his hands, and then the fan kind of falls behind it.
It's almost like there's like sort of a pale after image, just like a split second delayed from where he's moving. Marlin gets up and goes to Pert and offers a hand to like help you out of the water. Do you take it, Pert?
Okay, so Theodore is the one that was having the after images?
No, Marlin is the one who's going up to you.
Sure, Pert will reach out to take his hand.
Okay, and he helps you up. Says, I see you couldn't resist either, huh?
We didn't want you to end up being dead.
Well, you know, there was a couple scary spots there, but not too bad.
Uh-huh. So what's with the ghost image?
Huh? Oh, yeah. And he sort of gets a far off look for a second. And then off to his right, you see this like spectral image that had kind of been following his movements. It just like shifts out of his body an entire other, looks like a ghost.
So you're already dead?
No, this person does not look like Marlin. Has kind of like wispy long hair. A very like gaunt, hollow face, and like there's not really any eyes. It looks kind of feminine.
Oh, you have a guest.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that way of putting it.
Is that Jamie saying that?
No,
Or-
that's them.
Okay.
Are the rest of you getting out?
Yeah.
Consciously, but getting out.
Well, at least Fire approaches. Hello, glad you're alive. Who's the ghost lady?
As you are kind of climbing out of the pool, there's a couple of wisps that start heading for you, and Marlin, who's kind of keeping an eye on them, immediately goes, "Hey, hey, hey!" And they stop. So, nice to see you all again.
Why did you leave without telling us?
They kind of look at each other. Because we wanted to get the treasure. Really?
And we like treasure too. We got worried.
Theodore looks a little sheepish.
I'm glad you're currently not dead yet.
I sort of whispered to Fire. I think they probably didn't want to share the treasure with us.
Oh, well, I don't mind that either. But they should warn us at least. That's unpolite.
So you said
Sorry, Marlon crosses his arms. Really? Were you really gonna just let us go?
I would.
I was going to direct you towards something safe if you weren't interested in trying to negotiate a reasonable situation. I'm glad you aren't currently dead still.
You said that the ghost had separated from him?
Yeah, I'm kind of focused
She's
on the
just
ghost.
kind of like floating right beside him, but still like 1/4 still inside of his body.
So I just look at him and say, "What's your name?"
She just kind of stares at you with these like hollow dead eyes. And Marlon says she calls herself the Shepherd.
So we're talking to Marlon still then?
Yes.
I assume that Marlon is talking to the shepherd. The shepherd is in contact with him.
Yeah, I can like hear her in my head. It's weird.
I just kind of walk up close to them and bow at the ghostly woman. And apologize for the intrusion.
Isn't like the shepherd a very ominous name to have?
No, not necessarily. Shepherd
Depends on
safeguards
if
the
you're
flock.
a sheep or not. Or a wolf.
I could.
So he goes up and pokes her.
She recoils and like rushes straight back into Marlon's body.
I'm sorry, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that.
She says, "Curse you, invaders." I don't think she likes being touched.
That's understandable.
And then looks down at his own body as to sort of consider what he just said.
All right.
Cool.
And is she aware of why you were here?
Can't leave that.
She doesn't seem too bothered by it. I wouldn't make a big deal out of it.
We can
So-
leave the backstory for later. What are you doing here?
They're looting the temple.
No, but specifically there, and I point where Theodore was doing nothing.
You look over there, and you see Theodore, like, trying to stand in front of a pack bulging with gold and pottery and statues and just treasure.
And they were just, gloating on it?
There's more lying around on the ground, and you think they might have been, like, trying to choose the best. Theodore sort of scratches his head a bit and said, "Hey, you didn't bring any food, did you?"
No.
I toss him 2 mushrooms.
Excellent! He eats both of them.
So
Wait, but share.
Marlin hits Theodore. Yeah, dude, share.
So why is she here? Why is her presence still in this place? Why isn't she?
Hey, Fire, do you have any more of that food? And maybe while we can talk. I think it's you might actually be able to help us with the problem.
Uh-huh.
Can
Sure.
she talk?
I don't think so.
Do you think this is a safe place to have a picnic?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Jamie, is it dry enough to stand here?
You're not standing in the water here. There's no like large flat space. But everybody can kind of like sit themselves down on a little rock.
Well, then
In relative
lunch
proximity.
lunchtime. I'll prepare food while you guys talk.
Okay. As this is happening and you guys get a better sense of this cavern, there is no other exit. This seems to be a dead end from what you can tell. At least there's no obvious exit. Over time, you notice, like, as the wisps are kind of moving around, little glitters here and there. There seems to be bits of gold. You see, like, gold statues, gold jewelry, really nice carved pottery, carved stone. A couple of the stalagmites that are on the ground seem to have been carved almost like stone totem poles. And there's also bones. There's a lot of bones.
Hurts sketching a lot.
Dear.
Bone.
Like maybe some sort of sacrificial altar pit thingy.
There's nothing that would. There's no like altar.
Like a mass grave.
Maybe. It's hard to say. The wisps. Some of them occasionally get, they get a little bit closer and a little farther away. There's a few that seem to be intent on getting closer. And Marlon's kind of keeping an eye on them. But everybody sits down to have lunch. And Marlon says, so... I don't know where to start.
At the beginning.
Well, I was born in Astoria.
What does she want? Why is she attached to you?
That's not the beginning.
Okay, she's attached to me because we're here, I guess.
Okay.
Like, she was floating around here before.
And here is, what is this place?
He kind of scratches his head.
I'm pretty sure he's as clueless as we are.
I'm asking the shepherd, not him.
It's some sort of like a grave, sacred place.
Like a temple. Or a burial ground.
She says that this was a place for worship of The one that sleeps beneath. That sounds ominous.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, I thought you came with it like from the beginning. You found her here now.
Yes.
She's-
Ah.
Does
No,
the
she
one
was
who
here.
sleeps beneath ring any bells to me?
Make a history or religion check, your choice.
Can any of us do that? Or?
Sure. Not a clue. Not a clue.
Hmm.
Some sort of ancient god.
Pert, you have also never heard of this.
Oh, well.
But Pert knows a lot more about history than the other two. So that probably means that it's something that the people who used to be here, who are no longer here for whatever reason, might have worshipped. And there's
Also-
a lot of reasons why that.
Prehistoric.
Yeah, probably.
I assume if a 31 got nothing, a 21 doesn't either.
Mm-mm.
What about someone who is from the land? Nope.
I will just ask then. That sounds rather ominous. Who or what is the one that sleeps beneath?
Marlon pauses for a second. You get the sense that he's like trying to listen to something that you can't hear. She's not super clear. It sounds like it's a thing that she worships, but also not like a god that lives in the sky kind of god. Well,
She's attached to your body, but can she take it over?
he looks a little perturbed when you ask. I don't know.
What does she need or want?
Oh, she wants to leave. She's been stuck here with the. He gestures broadly. All of these things. She is bound to protect them and shepherd them for eternity, but eternity is a really long time, and she wants out.
What happens if
there's like a thing at the bottom of that pool that's keeping her here, and she wants us to destroy it, but we can't. I think it's magic.
And what does she offer in a way of assurance that that's not a terrible idea?
She says we can take whatever we want.
What happens when she's no longer here to these gestures at the wisps?
I don't know.
Ask.
She says that they would be free to go where they want.
As in pass on?
What are those?
She says they are what's left of the people that were here.
So, is her job of keeping them here? Are they not happy being here? They want to get out.
No, she wants to get out. I don't know that they want anything.
Oh,
It's strange that they would keep their spirits tied here and not let them pass on.
I trust her.
Theodore kind of scratches his head and says, I don't think the wisps care I think it's just her that wants to go.
Was she bound here against her will, or?
She says eternity was much longer than she expected.
So, I think we need to help her out.
I agree. I'm perturbed at someone who's willing to break their oath, but not my God, not my position to say.
Yeah, let's help.
All right.
I'd pull Kamale back out of earshot a little bit and whisper kind of quietly, are we at all concerned that she might wreak some kind of havoc if we let her out of here?
I don't know. I don't honestly know. Well, who's she possessing again?
Marlin.
Marlin. What does she want to do after she's left?
She says she's not sure.
What would she want to do?
I get the sense she hasn't thought much farther than getting out of here.
Can she, how to say it, pass on?
I don't know.
Ask her.
She doesn't know either. Or if she does, she's not being very clear. It's not like...
Look, I don't know what I want for breakfast tomorrow. I can understand a ghost not knowing their own existence.
It's more, and forgive us for being blunt, but how do we know she isn't going to wreak havoc on the local area?
He just kind of shrugs.
She hasn't shown any sign of being evil or something. Mm.
Well, it's because she's bound to this area, but Marlon, can she detach herself from you and talk to someone else?
He thinks hard for a minute, and she kind of shits out of his body again.
Like, shoots out as in pulls away, or like actually disconnects?
No, she's still connected to... she's still connected to him, but is just sort of half in and half out.
I'll reach out and offer her my hand. Not try to grab her, giving her the option to touch me.
Make a persuasion check.
Maybe she'd be more comfortable with a feminine form.
That's obviously not necessarily the case, considering points at Merlin.
Yes, well,
What?
she only had 2 options.
What if the person we know have a connection with spirits to it?
She looks down at your hand, Camille, and looks back up at you. And you see her fully detach from Marlin, basically. This very faint spectral figure floats towards you, takes your hand, and attempts to make her way into your body.
Okay. She trying to take over, or
She is. It's hard to tell at the moment. You can definitely feel her trying to possess you. You're not sure if that's what that result is going to be. Make a wisdom saving throw. This is so wrong.
yeah, I pull back.
Okay. Make a charisma save. Yeah. She does not get very far before you pull back. And she also pulls back as well, and you see her, what's left of her face, kind of curl up into a bit of a hiss. And she retreats back towards Marlin.
I figured that might happen.
Marlin lets her back in. And
Did I get any sense from her that was like reacting to the fact that I'm already bound to something greater than her?
Make a wisdom check. And as you're thinking about that, Marlin says, "Oh boy, she did not like you."
Yeah, he can be a little edgy.
Hey, Merlin, can I ask you to let her take over your hand?
Sure.
And with that, Zoe pulls out her book and offers a pen to the hand. Could
Okay.
you sign your name here, please?
Marlin picks up the pen and starts to write. Camille, it was more maybe I don't think you're entirely sure if she was reacting to something about the fact that you're bound to somebody else, or if it was just her reacting to the fact that you have holy powers, or that you resisted her.
Yeah, fair.
She starts to write, Zoe, and it is in. You have the one that lets you read out languages, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the only person who can read it is Zoe. It is in a language that nobody here understands.
Got it, Goblin.
So,
mhm.
just to be specific, Zoe wasn't trying to get her to write. She's trying to get her to sign the book so she can send her a message.
Oh, I see. It's still in a script that, like, people will look at that name and they're like, oh. But you can see that it says Shepherd.
And with that, Zoe sits down on the floor with her book, hopefully finding a dry spot, Otherwise, it's going to be using magic at a later time. And writes out, "Hello, my name is Zoe. I am sorry for reaching out and poking you earlier."
You see written back in your book, so many invaders. Why are you here?
So he writes out, "Honestly, we are here to make sure that these two do not cause trouble." Uh, she then points at Merlin and person I cannot remember the name of.
Theodore?
Yes, Merlin and Theodore. After, and then writes down those two.
Sorry, what?
Sorry. So she writes down, "We are here to make sure that these two don't cause trouble." Then she points at Theodore and Merlin, and then she writes down those two specifically.
She says they will break the seal.
The seal to let you out?
Yes.
Do you come from this world?
Yes, of course I do.
Does that come out in all caps?
Yes.
I have met people who were trapped in this world who did not come from this world, and I have a way to send them back. So if that was the case, I could have done it for you.
Don't send me back. I want to leave.
Hey guys, I think we just yank these two back up and bring her out. She seems very agitated, and I think I'd be the same way if I was trapped down here for weeks, let alone a lifetime.
It's more the concern of what we're scared that she could hurt someone when she's outside.
So he writes in her book, "You don't want to hurt anyone, right? You just don't want to be here anymore." Question mark.
I don't want to be here. I want to leave.
I'm assuming, is Zoe relaying what she's saying to us?
Probably not. What will you do when you're no longer here?
I don't know.
Will you leave these two alone?
Yes, I do not enjoy their company.
Will you promise to leave everyone alone? Like, to not cause issues?
Make a persuasion check. She says, "Yes, I will leave everyone alone. Even the filthy invaders."
Then join. Zoe writes down. Then join me, and my companions will grab these others, and all the invaders will leave.
When you say join me, are you inviting her to
Yes.
possess you? Okay. She attempts to do so. Do you resist?
No.
Okay. Then you feel this ethereal presence sort of settle into your body, and you are still in control. But there is this sort of unsettling feeling that there is like something that's sitting in between your skin and the rest of your body.
Like, is basically. Does it feel like Zoe's skin's crawling?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, that's unique. Camille, could you grab him? Rizwin, could you grab him? We are leaving.
Don't we have a thing to smash first or something?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Zoe, in your head, you hear, "Yes, you must break the seal."
Oops.
While this is happening, what are Pert and Emma and everyone else doing?
I think to remember that Perd was sketching things. I
Mhm.
made food.
Melis is cleaning himself.
Reese, we need your soup.
I'm pretty sure she just finished it as soon as it was handed to her.
Yeah, Marlon and Theodore gulped theirs down pretty quickly. The more you sort of sit here and notice, like, oh hey, there's like a skull over by that rock. Oh hey, there's like a bunch of bones over there. Like, you notice more and more eerie stuff.
Nearly a place where people die their hubris, and we have a winning ticket to not die.
Marlon, through a mouthful of stew, says, I got the sense that they, pointing to the skeletons, are now them, pointing to the wisps.
Ah,
But why? Why here?
Marlon shrugs. I think their god lived here or something. I don't know.
I mean, why not? That good cemetery is the next one.
Yeah, who doesn't want to spend eternity in a creepy cave? At least they brought their valuables.
Which you will leave most of because it would be disrespectful to take all of them.
She said it was fine!
She did. She's not them.
They don't care. Do you? Looks around. The wisps don't react to him. See, they don't care!
Take a couple things and leave the rest. You can't carry all that out of here.
Theodore looks down at his bulging pack.
No, I'm not carrying it for you.
looks at fire.
I have a big thing already. Point at the shroom pack.
Didn't you leave that outside?
He did.
No.
No, he turned into an aardvark.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Your shrimp pack is very wet now, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
They're in sprinkle territory. Same as same as Ruby.
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you think you could smash that seal?
Yes.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it, and I'll jump in and try to find it.
Is it in this room or in the other one?
It's in the pool.
Does the entity? Can the entity point it out?
Yeah, she through kind of crude verbal instructions, points you to a spot at the sort of shallow end of the pool. And you see a little covered in gunk is a stone circle with a bunch of like runes carved into it.
Oh, so he knows what to do with runes.
Is it like attached to something, or is it just there?
No, it's just carved into the floor of the pool.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I'll get Zoe to read the runes first.
Yeah.
That was not what Zoe knows what to do with runes. But can the runes be read?
You can make
and-
an Arcana check.
Rizwin has her warhammer ready, just is waiting for the go-ahead.
Mhm. Part of this seems to be a magical enchantment to resist wear. And part of it seems to be some sort of binding sigil.
Well, Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
It's worked last couple times we've seen runes.
Roll damage. You shoot your Eldritch Blast at it, and it doesn't do anything. Water just kind of like splashes up all over your face, all over your front. And you get the sense that the water might have... the water might have shielded it a bit, and also the part of the spell that it makes it resistant to damage probably shielded it a bit.
Well, that didn't work as she's prestidigitating herself.
You want me to give it a try?
Which one do you have out?
Well, I have the warhammer out, and this is something, Jamie, that we hadn't really established previously.
Mm-hmm.
Does it require a short rest or a long rest or something to switch, or can I just do that?
I think it requires attunement, yes? Requires attunement. So it should be a short rest to switch it to different weapons.
Are
Okay.
you already at 3 attunement thingies?
No. Because remember is the charm, and it
Yeah.
switches between weapons. But to attune, remember to the new weapon, it takes a short rest.
I didn't know that. I thought it was the weapon itself.
Yeah, I just didn't know if the attunement was to it or
It's
binding
gonna
it to the weapon
both
kind of thing.
Rizwin and the weapon.
Okay.
I'll pull out my sword.
So, and you got like a pike as she's walking away because she doesn't want to deal with splash damage again.
You hear deep within your mind this sort of incessant chorus of break it, break it, break it, break it, break it.
Can Zoe speak in her mind too?
Yeah.
We are working on it. We will free you. I made my promise, and I will carry that out.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. Not the words, but you know.
Just
Face
like
motion.
Zoe just feels the frustration.
Yeah.
All right, I will attempt to crack the runes with my sword.
Before, or I guess maybe as Camille is doing that, can I just give maybe a general insight on all of the proceedings that have happened thus far, just to see if does this feel like a bad idea?
Make an insight.
Or does everything sort of seem to be what it was?
Seems like a bad idea if you believe with your heart.
10. I mean, the ghost has said that she's not gonna hurt anyone when she gets out, and that's probably the best you're gonna get out of her.
Okay.
Like, it's hard to tell what her, like, if she has hidden intentions.
Especially since I can't talk to her indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So instead of, attacking it with a weapon, hey, Rizwan, why don't you take out your jewel cutting and just make it so that it's no longer says what it says. Just break it gently.
It's actually a good idea.
I was under the impression that it was resistant to damage, meaning resistant to non-magical damage.
Maybe. I mean, Eldritch Blast is magical damage, though.
Yes, but Eldritch Blast also has to pass through water.
You do hear from Theodore. We already tried to cut it. We tried to smash it.
Well, I can try this, and she waves the glaive, but...
Can you guys get it out of the water?
You said it's like part of the floor, right, Jamie?
Yes.
It's carved into the floor.
Can we make a dam to open up the area around it? To like
I
block
just
the
stab
water
it.
from.
Okay, roll damage.
Two-handed.
Your sword just kind of bounces off.
What if we try to get it out of the floor? Can I, like, smash the floor around it with the hammer to try and, like, detach it from the rest of the floor?
Yeah, you could try.
Mighty Hulk smash.
Just damage roll, I guess. This one. Oh, not Great Weapon Master. Ah, jeez. 12 damage. That's too many rolls, sorry.
Okay. You do see the floor around it start to crack and break. It's gonna take a little bit of work, though.
Okay,
Probably
yeah, I
also
mean...
need some sort of a chisel to direct it.
We have batons.
Zoe holds up a hand.
Hmm.
I have Dispel Magic.
Ah.
So that can do it.
Rizwin backs away.
Yeah. Dispel Magic?
You cast Dispel Magic. And you feel your spell catch on something.
Hit it now, Rizwan.
Rizwin hits it now.
And it shatters. Water goes everywhere. And Zoe, you hear from within your mind, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this ghost, you feel her withdraw from your body. And she starts floating up to the ceiling.
Wait, I say stop, stop.
She stops.
Could you skirt us out? We don't want to be wisp lunch.
She looks at you, then looks around at the cloud of wisps, and they also start to float towards the ceiling. And
Good
start
thing. Thumbs up.
floating through the ceiling.
Good thing. Thumbs up. Take care.
And as this cloud of lights starts to go up and into the ceiling, it slowly gets darker and darker until the last one goes and there's no light.
Until we make light.
Yes, and by the time you cast your light cantrip, the ghost is gone.
There we have it then.
Theodore kind of claps his hands together. Excellent work. That was quite good. Shall we go?
After you divest yourselves of all your heavier objects, yes.
May I request 30-second break?
Yeah, I gotta
Sure.
go to the
30-second break.
Be right back.
David, are you still with us?
We have a sleepy David today.
I saw your mic go. No, I see you lighten up and I don't hear anything.
Yes, I said.
Oh, there we go.
For some reason, I thought Zoe would have to escort her up, which is why I asked her into into Zoe's body.
Bye.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, is
Welcome
everybody else
back.
ready to go?
I think Fanny went away.
I definitely heard Gathan saying he had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So before they leave the whole thing behind, can I check the bag if there's anything cool there?
Sure. As Theodore is emptying out his bag to try and rearrange things, make an investigation check.
All is boring, but pretty are pretty.
There are some carved stone statuettes that were in his bag that he's now set aside. Some statues that are carved in gold, some gold jewelry, also some beaded jewelry. A couple of really fancy clay pots or clay jars. There's one like what kind of looks like Quast, have you seen Made in Abyss?
No.
Okay. It looks like a really ornately carved bone flute. But like a really small one, more like an ocarina.
Ominous. Any gems? And I will ask while doing this. Did you find any diamonds, something like that?
Theodore says no, mostly just gold. This, and he holds up a bracelet with what looks like a couple of a few uncut emeralds.
Ooh, that's pretty.
If you want to have Zoe go over the pile of stuff for anything magical.
I was already thinking that. Zoe pulls out her maracas.
Okay. Zoe, you cast your spell. There is nothing magical. At least I should say there's nothing magical in this pile. Even though all the wisps have gone and the ghost is gone, there's still like a very faint magical aura to this place.
Just from the eons of things being here.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let's say I grab something like, I don't know, small emerald, small sapphire, some rock that's pretty, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you take that emerald bracelet. And,
Sure.
Theodore is willing to part with it. As he refills his pack, it's still pretty full. It still looks pretty heavy, but it's less so than before.
They're on their own getting out with it. I'm not helping them.
Everybody hears a clang, and looks over, and Brisbane's got a few gold pieces of her own, and just dropped one.
Rizwan.
What? Barkley.
Yeah, we know you're part magpie.
They can be of use.
She kind of squints at you and then significantly looks at the other two and like gives you the shut up look.
No, I specifically did that to not mention the dragon thing. That's out of character.
Yeah.
You know, just this one has a bad case of the bright shinies. A lot of humans do.
So as Theodore, with a bit of a hefts his pack up onto his shoulders, this adventuring thing's turning out all right.
Yeah, just wait until you have to climb a 30-foot rope carrying all that. Have fun. You're going first.
Hey, Jamie.
For that, we need to cross a ton of water. Go
Oh,
ahead,
yeah.
bud.
Have fun swimming with all that, too.
He looks at Marlin. I swim, you climb. They give each other kind of like a look, and then just start rock paper scissoring.
Hey, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Can Zoe figure out roughly which direction and how far it is to the surface?
When you say the surface, do you mean like the entrance?
You know, not underground.
I'm
trying to figure out if I can dimension door out of here.
Make a survival check.
Oh, these go great.
Just see how much force damage Zoe can take.
You're not sure that you would be able to immediately dimension door yourself to the entrance, and you're not really sure how far straight up you would have to go to get out. But with a 21, you can probably, like, you have a pretty good idea of like where you would have to dimension door to be about in the right at the edge of the ruined trap room.
Now, does Zoe want to steal a whole bunch of stuff? Yeah. So he goes over to Malice, puts a hand on her, and dimension doors out of here.
Before you do that, Mellis, you go to find Mellis. Mellis seems to be like pawing at something in a corner, like in the back of the cave. Sniffs a bit, paws some more.
So he helps her dig it, helps him dig it out.
You just see a rock crevice there. You don't see anything.
Like, is there air moving through it? Like, do I feel air there?
No. Maybe he just really wants down into that crevice.
Emma, what's your crazy kitty doing?
Alma comes over to look at see what the crazy kitty's doing.
Make a perception check. You look down into this crevice that Melis is trying to like paw into, and you see it takes you a minute, like something seems a little bit off and you're not quite sure what. But as the others are moving around the room and the light spells are moving too, you see there's like a shadow in there that doesn't seem to disappear with the light.
Hmm.
You see it kind of creep along the floor a little bit towards Melis, and Melis like backs up a bit, leans down and sniffs. The shadow retreats into the crevice.
Hmm. Alma gets a little closer.
Okay, you get a little bit closer, and it very slowly starts to like make its way out of the crevice, crawling along the ground towards you. It doesn't seem to have any, like, it's not three-dimensional, it just looks like a shadow.
Interesting.
It continues to creep along the ground towards you. Do you let it touch you?
I mean, unless Mela stops it, probably.
Melis is just looking at it with like the very wide-eyed predator look. And it touches. It just touches your fingers, and for a split second, they feel numb. And then that sort of numb feeling kind of travels and dissipates through your hand, and within like 5 seconds, it's gone. And the shadow starts to retreat.
Pack has been sealed.
Is Malice still doing anything?
As that shadow starts to retreat, Melis like tries to pounce on it, and it draws back very, very quickly, just sort of getting out of Melis's grasp.
Sounds about right.
His tail starts flicking madly.
Up,
Oh,
up.
my.
Melis is like still very engrossed in this thing. He just wants to stay in. Oh, I see Cathanda is no longer with us.
Yep.
Okay, well I'm gonna. There we go. I'm gonna hit the bathroom while he's coming back.
Okay.
I am back.
Back.
Hello.
No.
No.
In the mouth.
Oh, Mal.
La meow.
What have you considered? Meow.
Cathanda, are you with us? Nope.
No, apparently not.
How now?
Daddy, can you hear me?
Nope.
Incommunicado.
Hello?
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 There you are.
Here I am. Sorry about that. Computer just decided to freeze on me.
That's okay.
Did I miss anything of importance?
What was the last thing? What was the last thing you heard?
Black thing touching Amalus and making them feel ugh.
Okay. Yeah. Melis still really wants at it.
Does anyone point this thing out at all, or is it?
I mean, Emma, Melis, and Zoe are off in a corner, but that's not terribly unusual.
All right. Well, if no one points it out, I'm not going to do anything about it.
Eventually, Theodore and Marlon have worked out a system where Theodore is going to carry it up to the surface, and then it's Marlon's job from there on out.
Fair enough.
Okie dokie.
Theodore adjusts his still very full pack. Shall we go?
Unless anyone has anything else that's pressing they want to do in here.
Can Alma tell anything about the black shadowy thing?
It looks like you get the sense that Zoe can't see it.
I mean, that has a lot with what Alma can see.
That's true. What do you want to know?
I'm not sure.
Just make a general wisdom check then. You're not really sure.
Well, goodbye, new friend.
Yeah, it seems to have retreated into its crevice and is not poking its head out anymore, much to Melis's chagrin.
Come on, Alice. Let's leave the new friend alone and go back to the others.
Melis reluctantly leaves the crevice behind.
So I'm going to take Malice up through teleportation so he doesn't have to go back in the water.
Yeah, I thought you might be doing that.
This is Zoe telling this to Emma.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I'm a reassured Melis there is gonna be okay and go with Zoe.
Melis goes and stands beside Zoe.
Dimension door! Bye!
Bye.
Just make a... What was your survival check? 21?
21.
Roll me a d20.
Eep.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. After Zoe kind of poofs out, there's a beat, and then Marlon says, "Hey, she have more of those."
Not for you. You want to be adventurers. This is part of it.
All right. He kind of cracks his knuckles. Let's get swimming. I want fresh air.
Swim.
Yeah, away we go.
All right, everybody except for Zoe and Melis heads back in the water and start swimming to the surface. Zoe and Melis. Zoe, you underestimated the distance a little bit. When you come out of your dimension door, you appear 5 feet above the ground in the trap room.
Well, it could be worse.
Both you and Melis kind of crash to the ground. Melis more or less lands on his feet. Make an acrobatics check for me.
Melis has many feet to land on.
Mm-hmm. You also land on your feet. And as you do land on said feet, you feel the tiles underneath your feet start to sink a bit.
Oh no!
Jesus.
And then you hear a grinding sound of stone on stone, and you look up and you see way above your head this stone boulder starting to lower down from the ceiling.
My God.
What do you do?
So I have a couple questions here before I decide what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
So when you say trap room, which exactly room is that?
This is the second room. This is the room that had a whole bunch of boulders on the ground and a couple of spots that were caved in.
The one with the weights.
No, the one before the one with the
Oh, the
weight.
one with the one with the weights, right.
One easily bucket
Yes.
with a pole.
Dodge roll forward?
Make me another acrobatics roll. And Emma, please also make me a roll for Melis. I feel like Melis should get advantage on this because he is a cat. All right, you hear and see this large boulder looming above your head, and very quickly run out of the way. Roll me another d20.
Eep.
You just barely move far enough that the boulder misses you as it comes crashing down onto the ground, splintering the stone tiles where you were just standing. And as both you and Melis run onto a new set of tiles, they do not sink. These do not seem to be trap tiles.
Okay. Zoe's talking to Malice. Now remember, I kept you from going in the water. Don't tell anyone. And with that, Zoe's going to try and make her way out of this place without going very slow so she doesn't set off any more traps.
Okay, you just try to poke them with your foot, or do you have a pole?
Zoe always has a quarterstaff.
Okay. Oh yes.
It doesn't get brought up that often, but she has one.
Okay. So Zoe starts trying to poke the tiles to... I assume you're going to the other side of the room, the side that will lead you out, as opposed to the close side?
Correct.
Okay. Back with everybody else. You all surface.
Question.
Mhm.
How much noise did that make?
Everybody can make a perception check.
I choose to be distracted.
Both Rizwin and Pert feel a bit of vibration through the water. That just kind of makes you stop and pause.
Sorry, that was me.
Brisbane is mildly concerned, but she doesn't know why.
Well, let's start climbing.
Theodore looks up at the rope that he has to climb with trepidation.
Down. Theater. Got you, buddy.
Huh?
I slapped him. No. I just poke him and cast gaseous form.
All right. Theodore turns into a gas cloud.
Yes.
And can you link the spell?
Everything that he carries.
Is Theodore gonna even understand what this means?
He looks down at himself and puts his hands through his chest. And then puts his hands up in the air to be like, whoa! And then looks at the rope and kind of scratches his misty head.
You can just float.
Looks at fire, looks at the water, and then just slowly starts to ascend beside the rope.
Another question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rizwin understand how concentration works?
Yes, very well.
She looks at Kamale and gets a big old grin, and then just tweaks Fire's nose.
Fire, make a concentration check.
When he's halfway up. Oh well.
And I'll just whisper to Fire next time. We're trying to teach them some responsibility.
Yeah. Eh.
You're not giving them any. You're not helping them. If they think it's easy, they're gonna go do something reckless and get themselves killed someday.
Life. We're here to help. Why not help? Being irresponsibly helpful will be using more magic to grab all the gold that there is here, which we can do, and I'm not going to.
That's just facilitating their greed at that point.
We're not here to help though.
No, but if there is the option, why being grumpy?
Because it's not theirs to take.
Marlin, who is now 10 feet up the rope, just kind of turns back and says, "They're dead. What are they gonna do about it? They left. They're dead and gone."
It's about respect.
What good's gold gonna do sitting at the bottom of a cave?
What good is it gonna do you? It's just gold.
Are you kidding, man? He is still climbing the rope as he's saying this.
I mean, it can be proven so that if you help them, gold has value.
And when you're rich and wealthy and have a manor house, never mind. Whatever.
Marlin, who's almost at the top, kind of shouts back, "You've never been without money, have you?"
I just sigh and just start climbing.
timing and turn into a spider.
All right. Fire scales the wall in spider form.
I just haul myself up the rope, armor and all.
Mm-hmm. All right. Eventually, everybody makes it up. Theodore readjusts his pack, or tries to, but he's still in mist form.
See, you can transform back and forth, but careful because you're kind of fragile. If something strikes you.
He, in his sort of mist form, he sort of like puts his hands behind his head and leans back a bit and just starts like lazily floating backwards.
I think at about the time that we get to the top of where the rope is, it clicks in Rizwin's brain what that sound probably was, and she just rushes off.
Okay. You like rush straight through Theodore.
Yeah, no pause for consideration.
Alright. Everybody just sees Rizwin rush off.
And after I get to the top, I just look Marlon straight in the eyes and say, I might have had a privileged upbringing, but I would have given it all up to get back what I've lost.
Oh, good for you. That doesn't mean I don't want a house and nice things and to not have to live on the street anymore.
Shrug at him.
He just kind of rolls his eyes and follows after Theodore. He's still lazily floating, but a little less lazily now that Rizwin just like blew past him in a frantic hurry.
She probably shouted something like, fuck the traps, or something like that.
I'll
feel like if this is
follow
I groan and just start rushing off as well.
Okay.
I feel like by this point Zoe's outside setting up camp.
Yeah, probably.
It takes you some time to go through the other room, or the rest of the trap room, I should say. So by the time you're at the like back to the first room, you can hear very faintly the rushing footsteps of your companions, who've probably made it to the trap room and now seen that there's a boulder that wasn't there before.
Is it obvious that there is not a big splat of blood coming from underneath it, or is Rizwin like trying to shove the boulder?
Make a perception check. Yeah, you don't see any sign of either Zoe or Melis underneath that boulder.
Okay. She's probably just shouting at this point, like, Zoe?
Is Zoe outside at this point?
Not quite.
Okay.
Is it echoing so Zoe can hear her?
Yeah, you can just faintly hear somebody shouting.
Zoe pulls out her book, writes in. Wait, do I have Rizwin? I don't think I have Rizwin.
Nah, I don't think so.
I have to have Rizwin back. Why do I keep forgetting to actually do it?
I just look at Rizwin. She's on up ahead, I'm sure.
Prestidigitation to raise voice. What? Oh, thaumaturgy, sorry.
Everybody hears that.
Hello,
Sure.
hello.
Okay. Rizwan relaxes.
Fire says hello, hello, hello. Not the echo. Well, going outside.
Do you just run through?
Sure, fire forgets.
Well, Theodore just floats straight across the room.
I think probably with the revelation that just happened, everybody is kind of aware that the room is still trapped.
Mm-hmm.
So we can 10-foot pole our way back across. Or probably glaive, since I'm in the front at this point.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay. In your own time, you all make it to the entrance where Zoe and Melissa are already waiting for you.
Fun with rocks.
Yeah, it just kind of fell down after we left the room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the place is old and falling apart.
Do you have any food?
Aren't you the one with all the food?
Oh yeah.
I look at the other two. You have your spells. Now what?
Marlon looks at Theodore. Theodore is still a cloud, does like a loop-de-loop. Hey, can you change him back?
He can by itself. Just concentrate on being dense, like some of this group.
Wow, that's a lot of shade for fire to throw.
I was saying fire.
What? But you're solid and I'm solid. That's what I meant.
Huh.
With a clang, Theodore comes back to being, as you put it, dense. Up like 3 inches above the ground. Well,
See,
that was fun.
are the horses still here?
Yes.
What time of the day is it?
Probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Oh well.
So now what?
Now we continue on.
Oh, do we still want to? Marlon and Theodore kind of look at each other, and Marlon says, "Oh, we're here. We might as well check it out." Hey, Fire, do your people? Are you like? Wait, did you tell? Yeah, you told him you're from the village, right?
I don't think literally, but they can put 1 + 1.
Okay. The place we're going, do they not do the money thing like the other place?
Money thing? What, gambling?
I'm in.
No, the oh, just forget it.
They're asking, does your village use money in the trade of goods and services?
Oh.
And I believe
No.
I think some of them do, like when it's necessary to external people. I know I have seen them changing coin here and there to someone, but
Oh, okay.
not not that.
I think if what you're getting at is a small rural village in the middle of forest going to have enough money to easily change all your loot into carryable coin, I would highly doubt it.
I don't know if anyone would care about gold.
Also, if all of that is just gold, isn't that much gold's worth of gold just going to weigh that much gold?
Pretty much.
You're so smart, Rizwin.
She looked like she got a little bit of a headache saying that.
But does it weigh more than a kilogram of feather?
So let's go.
Start walking.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I get on my
Theodore
horse.
kind of does like the finger guns towards Marlon and says, "Your turn to carry the pack now."
That was in character.
Marlon grumbles and complains that Theodore did not actually do his fair share, but takes the pack anyways. And looks back at the cave. Where do you think she went?
Up.
On that
Up.
note,
Ideally elsewhere.
is her name still in Shinoi's book?
Yes.
Fun.
All right.
When can I write it in your book? On your horse?
Sure.
Zoe slides onto Rizwin's horse. One of you can ride my horse. Do not put that much weight on her.
So the one that's not carrying the stuff gets to ride on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
That seems about right.
Marley, you can get backwards. Don't worry.
They talk amongst themselves for a minute, and then Marlon puts the pack on Muffin, and they both walk beside her.
Smart people all around.
Well,
David, did I hear something?
not specifically no, but me and Kit are talking. Mostly
Oh.
she says meow.
Aww.
Meow.
Meow.
And now that she has Rizwin to control horse, Zoe pulls out her book and sends a message. Where will you go?
After a few seconds, you see written in your book, Very bright. Why is it so bright?
Because you're no longer in the dark. And then she adds another line. You're welcome to find me if you need not to be out on your own right away.
After a few more seconds, the words appear in your notebook. Filthy invaders should leave. Our land.
Hey, she never used the word our land before, did she?
I don't think so.
What area is your land?
The forest is ours.
Forest grow and shrink. You can't just say that that's yours, especially not after all this time.
She does not reply.
After some time of no reply, Zoe just adds, caves and under trees are dark. Please be safe.
I don't think you get a reply to that either.
That's fine.
Emma, you know the way home?
Yep.
So yeah, that's the question. Are we going to that village, or are we going straight on to your village?
Edgewood first, then to village.
Okay.
Not taking back paths with strangers. He does not say that out loud.
All right, so you make your way back to Edgewood. The town is just about as you left it. Once again, by the time you get there, the sun is starting to set.
Duh.
I guess we'll stay here for the night again.
Hey, we actually get to sleep in a bed tonight.
Could have slept in one last night.
Then we wouldn't have got our money.
That's the point.
Can we tie them to the bed so they get to sleep in a bed and be uncomfortable?
I don't know if they take off in the middle of the night.
Don't underestimate what they enjoy.
That is not an image I wanted in my head, but thank you.
I say if they disappear again, we just let them go.
Yep.
I mean,
She says
Depends
that
on where they're
once
going.
they're not around.
Yeah. Once they
Mhm.
effed off.
All right. So I assume you go back to the same inn.
yeah.
It's the same young woman working. Oh, hello, you're back.
Hello.
Are you looking to stay another night?
That would
Yes,
be lovely.
please.
Thank you.
I don't remember how much I charged you last time. I think it was 5 silver.
Silver person, yeah.
So same for another night. You can even have the same rooms you had last night.
Sure.
Never mind.
Remember?
I was thinking, but then I rethought.
Okay.
I think, but then I thought better.
Theodore turns to all of you and says, "Well, I think we're going straight to bed."
I'm sure.
Good.
Good night.
Good night. Don't leave without us in the morning.
Okay.
They both go up to their room.
Be here at dawn.
What?
Leaving at
Be
dawn.
here at dawn.
Damn it.
So he adds, what?
We don't wake up at dawn. We come down like, I don't know, an hour later.
Yeah.
Alright. Is there anything any of you want to do in the night?
Yes. A long rest.
Anything but sleeping?
Dreaming?
Yes.
Meditating on the experience and seeing if my God actually has anything to say about what we just did. Because he feels conflicted.
First I have a question. Who has the room beside Marlon and Theodore?
I would have figured we'd put them between two of us.
Okay. In that case, well, who is it?
I don't know, maybe
Let's say they're
It would-
surrounded. Like, Camille and Pert are across the hallway, and on one side is Amma with fire, and the other side is Rizwin with Zoe.
yeah.
Okay. Then you all hear 2 sets of snoring the entire fucking night.
I mean, I chime along.
Yeah, Alma is used to fire snoring.
Yeah. Camille.
Yeah.
You try to meditate on the day's events. Please make me a wisdom check.
I'm so good at those. Jesus fucking Christ.
The snoring's really loud.
Yeah, it's really hard to concentrate. Especially once fire joins in and there's 3 sets of snoring.
I think at some point in the middle of the night, I just get up and give up and go out for a walk for a couple hours.
Yeah.
If anything, just to be alone with his thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he gets an answer or not at this point.
Yeah. There is still very much like you feel this sense of wrongness associated with the undead that was very, very present today, especially when that ghost tried to possess you.
Mm-hmm.
But also she didn't seem like a mindless wraith.
Bent on destruction of all living things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how his view on it is. the ghosts either need to go away to the afterlife or be sent to the afterlife.
Hmm. Make a perception check, Camille. Okay.
Camille's head is just not in it tonight.
No.
The dice just do not want me to progress as a character.
Oh, you'll get there eventually. Statistics says so.
It's just really frustrating.
I feel you.
Zoe, you wanted to dream.
Yep. So earlier in the day, Zoe will send a message to Vanya.
Mhm.
Please make sure to wear something to bed
Okay.
that isn't PJs, unless you want to walk around in PJs. And then once things have settled down for the night,
Mhm.
she will use her dream spell.
Mhm.
The goal is to have Vanya join her as they go to Blackcaster.
All right. Make a wisdom check. Okay. As you fall asleep, you think of Vanya, and you think of home. And as you wake up in the dream, you are in Blackcaster. And Vanya is standing beside you in a pale blue summer dress.
So Zoe is very excited and runs over to Vanya and grabs her hand and is like, I got possessed today.
What?
There was this ghost and she was stuck and we freed her and I invited her into my body till we could get her out. And yeah.
Oh, so not a bad ghost.
No.
Are ghosts? Ghosts can be nice.
Well, I'm not saying she was nice, but she wasn't bad. At least she wasn't evil. And I mean, think of the stories you've heard about dragons and girls with horns and the creatures that can't enter the city.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. Okay.
I don't know. She was trapped there forever. Could you imagine being trapped in one place for the rest of your life, not being able to leave, not being able to get light? It just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah. I think even if it was the library, I'd get sick of it after a while.
At least with the library, they bring you food sometimes. Well, you bring us food. So
you gonna show me around?
where are they, or do I pick?
You pick. You're the local.
That was me asking Jamie, not.
I will say we'll just kind of hand wave it for now because I don't have a good sense yet of the sort of layout of Blackcaster. If there's anything you feel really strongly about Vanya seeing, then that's cool.
So of course she takes her to the library.
Okay. Vanya's very excited.
In fact, if I get to pick, they spawned in the library.
I would say that you spawned outside the library.
By the way, that dress is really pretty.
Thanks.
Problem about adventuring all the time, I get stuck wearing the same clothing.
That's okay. Your clothing's nice.
I think Zoe tries to change her clothing into something similar to Vanya's, but purple.
Make a wisdom check.
Not naked, not naked, not naked.
Not naked. You get sort of like what does Zoe wear usually?
Picture.
Oh yes. So you do get something sort of halfway in between. It's still got like it's still like quite a bit heavier and got like the pleats and stuff. But it is like shorter, and it is purple.
Zoe is a little nervous, trying to make sure her tail doesn't show. Which, by the way, is wrapped around her leg.
Okay, I think that you can do that. Also, unless you make a big deal out of it, Vanya's not going to say anything.
It's a big deal to Zoe.
You're not sure if Vanya has noticed and just is being polite, or if you have successfully hidden it.
So, with that, Zoe just keeps showing her around.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to show her her favorite book. Don't ask me what it is, because I don't know.
Sure. But yeah, you guys spend a fair amount of time wandering through. I don't think you get much farther than the library, probably.
So out of worry, Zoe asks, after we do this, do you feel rested in the morning, or does it take a lot out of you?
I'm kind of tired, but not like falling asleep at work. It's totally worth it, though.
And have you learned any new spells?
No.
You're making sure to go to your classes, right? I don't know. Does she have classes?
No, she's got like a one-on-one apprenticeship.
Well, you're making sure they're teaching you stuff, right? They can't just use you for free. Well, they can't just use you as their assistant. It's supposed to be a two-way street.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just been all busy thinking about other stuff.
Other stuff?
Books,
Your books or new other books?
New books.
I want to hear about it.
Later. And she winks.
Meanie. And Zoe just gives her a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anything else really happens in the dream. You guys have a good time?
Yeah.
And eventually the spell ends. The sun rises, Everybody slowly wakes up. Marlon and Theodore are not down at dawn.
Nobody was down at dawn.
Are they down before we get down?
They are probably down before you are eating breakfast.
And does this place have a, bath or shower?
We said last time there were baths.
Yeah.
I honestly think Zoe would have gone straight for the bath last night, so never mind. She did have to swim in a pool of algae.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Most of us probably took baths. I said most. I didn't say all.
All right. So you guys are heading to Shimmergrove today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I, the DM, have a question for Mist. What's Emma gonna do?
During the night?
No. Are you going into town? Are you gonna drop everybody off at the edge? And technically, you're supposed to go back. It's okay to say if you're not sure.
I'm not sure at the moment.
Okay. So, the lot of you eat breakfast. Load up your horses. And start down the road to Shimmergrove.
Fire is visibly nervous.
Mm-hmm.
After we get out a ways, Rizwin will pull her horse up beside Fire, and I don't really know the whole story, but you seem less than excited to go home.
I think he jumps a little bit when you talk to him. Now everything is fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, we're good. We're dandy.
Oops. I think she just kind of gives him one of those looks like,
Don't give me the grandma look.
She just keeps staring at him.
I'm not. I'm not sure how it's going to go. The thing.
How come?
Let's say Amma is a well-loved person in the village who's not allowed to come back. And I'm a person who is allowed to come back, but is not loved. So, yikes all around.
Are they going to try to hurt you? Or Amma?
No, they're not gonna, pitchfork and whatnot. At least not with me, I think.
They try to hurt Amalus?
I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Are you too comfortable talking about what happened?
What?
Well, you said Amalus isn't allowed back.
Yes.
Are you comfortable explaining both of you telling us why?
I guess Amma is at earshot. Amma, do you want to tell this thing?
Trying to figure out how Alma would explain it if you'd explain it.
If you want, there's the option of not wanting to say anything or asking Fire to tell the story.
I feel like Alma would say something. I'm just not quite sure what exactly, like how to actually describe it. Like he wouldn't, describe the entire thing or anything. But I'm trying to figure out how you generalize it.
Circumstances as to why you're not invited back?
I mean, if you're having trouble finding the words,
Yeah.
we can just sort of extrapolate.
Or maybe Amma on character is having trouble.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
So Fire will intervene and say, so, the gist of is... What are we explaining again? Oh, yeah. There was a thing that attack the town, and Ama was a hero, as he always is. But the villager, their council, the mayor, they are worried that he might be cursed some way. I don't get the details. And he was sorry, you cannot live here anymore, kind of thing. And on that regard, I say, well, fuck all of you. I'm going with my friend. So we went away.
Well, it's easy enough to determine if Amelis is cursed or not. And easier still to remove any curses that might be there. Maybe we can get Zoe to check them over for a curse, and if I have time, I can prepare a spell to remove curses.
I can't do that.
You can? Okay.
Can't.
No, I can't.
Yes, but I have no way to tell. I know she's got magical essence on her, or he's got
Yes.
magical essence.
But you can determine the nature of the magical essence.
Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
Can Zoe figure out the nature of magical essence? Because otherwise, I would have figured it would already have been brought up.
Yeah, Zoe would know this by now. Just with the number of times you've cast Detect Magic in range of the group. The sort of magical essence that is around Amma is somewhat akin to the spirits that you have sensed before.
So the old magic?
She's just in tune with spirits. She's not cursed. Sorry. He is just in tune with spirits. He is not cursed.
Well, we just need to plead his case to their elders.
Good luck. I don't know. Look, yeah.
I'll just look at Amelis. We'll keep you safe.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line here is I don't think they can force us to really do anything.
It's not a thing about getting violent or being guards around or something like that. It's about hurting feelings. Like, if they say no, you cannot pass in, I'm kind of sure we can just mull down and pass. But it's the
It's also a question.
is the bad bits of having been said that,
Understandable, but it's also the understanding that maybe they have a bias of their own superstitions that needs to be dispelled.
Look, I don't deserve any harm to them. I don't desire them any good either, to be honest.
No, I'm not suggesting we come in there storming the castle walls, as it were. I'm suggesting that we just approach openly and honestly.
Do we settle on names, Jamie?
For who in particular?
The small one.
Oh, I can't remember.
Me neither.
It's not in my notes. It might be in my other notes. Oh, wait, no, that's a recording. I can't listen to that right now.
I said, well, they're all stubborn. And I don't know if it's better for everyone to try to solve the world when we come in. Maybe I was telling to Emma the other day, maybe it's better to have her hidden, have him hidden, and I don't know, visit their parents and whatnot, but not publicly show his back.
One would consider that your village elders are probably wise enough to assume that if you're here, he's here. You two are pretty inseparable. So I think it would be better to approach things honestly and openly and...
No. Look. I don't want this visit to be a whole emotional trip. I don't know what Amma prefers, so he could tell me. But if it's by my vote, I will prefer not to discuss with anyone.
I think that you can't really predict what they'll say or do.
Yes, but if we come with the plan of we're gonna explain them why they're wrong, it's very different to we're gonna try to avoid it, and if it needs to be happening, it needs to be happening, but it's not the first option.
We're here to discuss the Black Ooze and your village's connection with it. If what happens with Amulet comes up in that naturally, then so be it, but I'm not there to tell them that they're wrong. I think they're misguided, but...
Out of character, we don't care what the elders have to say, right? We just want to talk to the tree. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you can just say that in character. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we just go to the tree and don't engage with them.
Yeah. To be fair,
I mean,
I think your elders are wrong, and
I mean, I will want to talk to Grandma just because I want to see her and because she might be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, I'll be honest, I think your elders are wrong and are punishing a hero needlessly. But I'm not going to fight them on it unless they start it.
And to be clear, I didn't get the sense of punishment like the necessity of punish Amma because he did something wrong. There was sadness in the town when he left because kind of yeah, and it's something like they'll feel like it needs to be done, but this doesn't mean that they want to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And people can make mistakes, and maybe they've rethought their mistakes.
Amma, do you want to see your parents or not?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yes, you should.
We should at least do that.
Take it from me. Take every chance you can to speak to your parents.
Rizwin quietly chokes on her spit.
Exceptions exist to every rule. And I just move my horse forward.
All right.
Specific. I want to say something specifically. Don't take it wrong, Kathani. Just role playing. It's specifically out of shot of Camille. I want to say to Rizwin something. Can you help me on checking on him to not, be so Camille?
He gets very specific ideas.
Yeah, I know, and he wishes the best, and I know that, but I'm not. I'm just caring for the mental health of everyone involved.
It seems like this situation needs a delicate touch.
Yes.
I don't necessarily know what the right thing to do is, because I kind of also left where I grew up under kind of similar circumstances.
Oh, I had a happy, normal childhood.
It was adulthood that was bad to Camille.
Yeah.
I mean, Alma had a happy, as normal as his circumstances could be, childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So
It always wasn't.
I mean, to a point, he's still in childhood, but that's beside.
Look,
I don't know what I would do if I ever go back.
Yeah, and I don't want to claim that I'm doing the correct thing. I'm worried. I'm worried for Amma, and I worry for myself, and I worry for Amma's parents, because they will have an emotional shock too. And I don't. They were good to me. They were the few that they were nice. So
What if, when we get there, everybody kind of stays out of sight at the edge of town, and one person goes in and gets, I don't know, your grandma, his parents, somebody that you trust, and just has them come out and talk?
that should be me.
I mean, it could be somebody they don't know.
But how do you recognize the persons?
All right, just tell us where to go.
It's an idea. What do you think, Emma? At least I don't think I can hide the fact that I'll be there. They know me, and I will interact with the tree. And I then yeah, no, but they will still catch me. I know, and I don't want to rush things, so I don't want you all to just wait in the forest. Also, if they wait in the forest and they notice you, it will be worse, I think.
I don't
What
think you guys need to hide.
what if we just, what Camel said, just go there and do our stuff, and what happens, it happens. I hate that idea, but maybe it's the best.
I think it's probably overall the best. Might be a little rough for a minute, but I think it'll work out. And we can always just leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it for fire. No things to say.
Yeah, Rizwan doesn't go anywhere, but I don't think she has anything else to say either.
Mm-hmm. As your horses continue to walk along the path, you all feel a little bit of rain on your cheek. Look up, and the sky is gray and cloudy. And as rain starts to fall all around you, that's where we're gonna end tonight.
That's a omen.
Mm-hmm.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Next week is gonna be fun. Yay!
Character growth.